Fight Club 25 in the building. Yeah, we here, man. We in Brooklyn, man, on this side of town. This my first video uploading on YouTube. I'll be covering boxing, man. I'll be talking about boxing. I know there's a lot of other boxing channels out here in the YouTube community, but I hope to be one that stands out from the rest. And today I just want to talk about hate. Yeah, hate. Hate as it pertains to the sport of boxing. There's a lot of hate going on in this sport. And let me first start by saying, in my community, hate is an overused term. It's very, very overused. You can't critique anybody anymore. Like soon as you're critical of another person, the first thing they say is, you a hater, you a hater. That's corny, man. That's corny. And a lot of boxers do the same thing. It's become a cop out. A lot of these boxers, they make bad decisions. And when we, become critical of them, they say, oh, the fans are hating and this, that, and the third. But as the voice of the people, man, because I'm a boxing fan and I'm the voice of the people right now. As the voice of the people, I just want to say that it's never about that, especially as far as I'm concerned. There's never no hate. It's nothing personal. I'm not emotionally invested with any of these boxers. But sometimes, you guys got to understand that you make bad decisions in the sport. You let the fans down and, the fans become hostile, and a lot of times they go overboard. I will admit it. And I'm definitely not one of them because, like I said, I'm not emotionally invested to that extent. I love this sport, but it's really not that serious. These guys, they get on the Twitter and the gram, on the book, and they throwing up the cherries and the chickens and being disrespectful, talking about his family, talking about this, talking about that. I remember they was doing that to Canelo with the chickens. They was doing that to Danny Garcia with the cherries. Now they doing it to Golovkin. They jumped the gun with Chris Eubank Jr. when negotiations fell through, and they was putting chickens on his Instagram. But back to what I was saying, hate, it should never be about hate. It should always be love. I'm not trying to get all melancholy right now. I'm just speaking the truth, man, the facts. As men, and majority of boxing fans are men. I know there's a lot of women boxing fans out there, no disrespect, but as a male, as a man, you should never become that emotional over a sport. It just does not make any sense. Whether these fighters fight, whether they don't fight, whether they vacate belts, whether they fight, whether they're disrespecting weight classes, no matter what these guys are doing, at the end of the day, it doesn't put any money in your pocket and it doesn't take any out of it. So I don't understand what's all the hate for, all the racism, and all these things that plague society, man. These same things that plague our sport is ultimately what plagues society.